Hi everybody. Well, the holiday season is coming up. And while the holidays can be a time of rest and relaxation, reuniting with loved ones, eating well or too much, or even just catching up on things that we didn't have time for, holidays can also be stressful with financial demands, gift buying, stressful trips to the mall, travel, family relationships, too much alcohol, and therefore, for some, holidays can actually lead to some angst and anxiety and dread. So let me give you some examples. My sister is going to be there with her new boyfriend, who I can't stand. Or, my mother's going to make it all about her again. Or, my father's going to criticize everything about me, from what I'm wearing to how my kids behave. Or, my cousin is going to drink too much and say something that is going to create tension and a possible fight. Sound familiar? Well, what if we walked in differently this year? I want to give you some tools. Okay? Tool number 1. Respond from your current self and not from your younger self. What do I mean by that? You're no longer that 7 or 10-year-old in the family, which means you don't have to resort back to old behaviors just because others do. So when you find yourself getting triggered, it's triggering that younger self. And I'd like you to have a different internal conversation. Take yourself away and ask yourself, so what if my father is negative and is criticizing me? He can behave that way, but I don't have to react as I did when I was a child. My father's need to be judgmental and critical has actually no bearing on me or what I do. It's more about him. His need to control is about his unhappiness. It's not mine. I don't want it. So tell yourself, I'm not responding to my father from my 7-year-old, nor do I have to become defensive or explain myself. Let it roll off me. This is more about him and who he is. I will not take it in. Tool number 2, remember to have your mature adult state speak on behalf of your child's state. What do I mean by that? Your child's state, not steak, is the part of you that gets activated from the past, and it's reactive and doesn't have the skills that the adult part of you possesses. The child part houses our feelings, needs, and wants. So let's try to speak from our mature adult self, who will in turn speak on behalf of my triggered child state. Example, my sister's boyfriend starts talking about the money he's made and how I could have been part of the deal, but I was really stupid for turning it down. Well, we can get blaming and say, you know, Jeff, you never gave me a chance to respond to you. By the time I called you back, you said it was too late, so don't put me down. We can speak like that, or I can speak on behalf of my reaction from my mature adult part of me and say something like, Jeff, I'm really glad for you that you've made all that money. I'm not sure though what the point is to put me down, but I really don't think that part is necessary. If you want to tell us how well you did, then just leave it at that. Tool number 3, take space. If you feel triggered, don't feel obligated to stay in the discomfort. You can take your uncomfortable little self to a safer place. Tool number 4, set rules, boundaries, limitations. Don't feel pressured to do what you don't want to do. That includes how long you stay, where you stay, what you bring, etc. Carve out your needs and wants and know that it's okay to make them known. Example might be COVID. People are still COVID anxious. People may not want to be around big crowds. People may want to wear a mask. Set your own rules, boundaries, limitations. Some people may disagree or not like your limitations. But compromising your core will be much more damaging to you than feeling bad or guilty in the moment for standing up for yourself. Tool number 5, listen internally to what you need and want and follow through. Listen to your internal gut. Hear what you need and want. Don't rationalize and stay in an uncomfortable situation for longer than you need by making excuses for others or rationalizing, it's really not that bad. What's the big deal? It's only a couple of hours. I can do it. Listen internally and behave accordingly. Tool number 6, change the label on your bucket. What I mean by this is that we all have buckets with labels on them, and we collect data to confirm our hypothesis. So let's be very mindful and careful about filling our negative buckets. You may have collected data about a certain family member that you want to prove yourself to be right about. We all create buckets with labels to confirm our hypotheses. Let's take the examples of you anticipating that your cousin is going to drink too much and cause a scene. If you were going to walk in and count all the times your cousin is drunk or drinking, it's going to ruin your time because you're focused on collecting data to fit your hypothesis by counting all the times she does things that make you upset. Instead, try walking in with a bucket with a different label that says, my cousin's really funny. And collect those times. It will make you feel a whole lot better if you are focused on what makes you happy, because seeing the humor in your cousin will indeed make you happy. Tool number 7. We all wish some of our family members would be different. And when they don't become who we want them to be, or react in the way that we need them to, we get upset, we get angry, we even get let down. How about this year we walk in with no expectations? As my email tagline says, if my happiness is dependent upon somebody else changing, I will live in chronic dissatisfaction. So in the event that the holidays can be stressful for you, try and use the above skills, and let's hope overall that the holidays are a relaxing and loving and safe place for you. All the best for a happy holiday season. Lucy, do you want us to come say hi? Come here, up, come on. And Lucy wants to wish you a happy holiday as well, okay? Yes, okay.